Welcome. You know, one of the biggest questions in business right now is this. How do you actually figure out the return on investment for custom AI? Today, we're going to break it down. We're going to give you a simple, powerful framework that can turn what feels like a cost into a clear-cut investment, sometimes in less than a month.
So let's just get right into it. This is the question every business leader is asking themselves. You see all the hype, you hear about the potential, but when it comes time to actually, write the check, you have to know, is this just another expense? Or is it a smart investment that's going to pay for itself and then some? To answer that, let's start with a hard number that just made waves. 15%. And this isn't some guess from an analyst. This is a real-world result from a company I guarantee you've heard of. Yep, that 15%, that's the upswing Salesforce saw just recently by putting its own AI agents to work. We're not talking about a small startup here. This is a global giant seeing huge, measurable gains. It's the perfect proof that AI's impact isn't some fuzzy, abstract idea. It's real, and it's happening right now.
Okay, so how can you figure this out for your own business? Well, it all boils down to a super simple framework built on just 3 key numbers. This is the part that takes all the guesswork out of the equation. First up, time saved. Just think for a second about all the repetitive stuff your team does every single day. Logging data, chasing down leads, all that manual grunt work. AI can just do that. And every single hour your team gets back is a direct cost saving. It lets them focus on the stuff that actually moves the needle. The second number is extra revenue. Now, this is the really exciting part. When an AI can handle customer questions instantly, 24/7, you get to those leads faster. And you know what faster response times mean, right? Higher conversion rates. And that means more money, plain and simple. And finally, number 3, we have the total cost. You got to be really honest here to get the true picture. This has to include everything, the one-time fee to build and plug the system in, plus any of those recurring monthly costs for things like maintenance, the whole shebang. And the math to figure out your payback period, it is beautifully simple. You just take your total upfront cost and divide it by your total monthly return. That's your time savings plus your extra revenue all rolled into one. The answer you get is the exact number of months it'll take to break even.
Okay, a formula is great and all, but let's make this real. Let's apply this exact framework to an actual company and see what the numbers tell us.
So, our example company is probably a lot like many of yours. They're getting about 500 new leads every month. Business is good, but they are drowning in manual data entry just trying to keep up. Before they brought in AI, it was taking them about 10 minutes just to log a single lead. You do the math, that adds up to 84 hours a month. That's more than 2 full work weeks gone. By bringing in an AI agent, they sliced that time in half down to just 5 minutes. I mean, just look at that difference. So what are those 42 saved hours actually worth in pounds and pence? Well, if we figure an average employee cost of about £35 an hour, that comes out to a direct monthly saving of £1,470. That's our first key number, right there. But it gets so much better. Because the AI responds to leads instantly, their conversion rate, the number of leads that turned into actual meetings, jumped from 8% to 10%. Now, that 2% might not sound like a huge leap, but trust me, that little uplift is where the real magic happens. So that 2% increase in meetings, it led to 2 extra clients per month. And with each of those clients being worth about £3,000, that's an extra £6,000 in revenue every single month. And that's our second key number. All right, we've got our savings, we've got our extra revenue. Now it's time to look at the other side of the equation, what this thing actually costs. For this custom AI system, there is a one-time build and integration fee of £6,000. Then on top of that, there's a £500 monthly fee for licensing and upkeep. So for the very first month, the total cost is £6,500. Okay, here we go. We have all 3 of our key numbers, the time saved, the extra cash in the door, and the total cost. Let's put them all together and see what the real ROI looks like. First, let's add up the monthly return. We've got the £1,470 in time savings, and we add the £6,000 in new revenue. That gives us a grand total monthly return of £7,470. And let's not forget our total cost for that first month, £6,500. So right away, you can already see that what's coming in each month is more than the entire initial spend. And this is where the formula gives us the big answer. We take the $6,500 cost, we divide it by the $7,470 monthly return, and the payback period is just incredible. The entire investment pays for itself in only 26 days. Not 26 months, 26 days.
But the payback, that's just the starting line. After day 26, the AI is completely paid for. It transforms from an investment into a pure profit center. From that day forward, the business sees a net gain of nearly £7,000 every single month.
And the story doesn't even end there, because the real superpower of a bespoke AI isn't just what it does on day one. It's its incredible ability to scale right along with your business. This chart right here shows you the true power of scaling. Let's say the business doubles its leads to 1,000 a month. The AI handles it, no problem. The savings double, the extra revenue doubles, and that net monthly gain skyrockets to over £14,000. That's how you grow without having to hire more people for all that manual work. So we've seen how to calculate the ROI. We've seen a real-world example of a payback in just 26 days. And we've seen how it scales. It kind of leaves us with one last really crucial question. Now that you have the framework, what's the real cost to your business of doing nothing?